January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. These are the months of the year.
As a child, I grew up playing teacher. And I went to school all day and then came home and pulled out my blackboard and my chalk, and I just loved to learn. So it seemed only fitting that I would become a teacher as I grew up. It's just such a big joy to look at the children as they come in each morning. They're excited to be here, we're excited to be here, and every day is quite different. But to be able to teach them and see those moments when they understand and they want to learn is such a blessing. And a double blessing would be that we get to enjoy talking about God throughout each day.
I feel like at public school, I didn't really know my students as well because there were so many of them, and I couldn't get that one-on-one time to work with them wherever they needed assistance. I love being here at Pisgah, and I think there's so many great things that happen in the classroom and beyond the classroom. I love the community of our school, and I look forward to coming here every single day and working with my students, because no matter what's coming, what I'm bringing with me from home or from my personal life, they are able to just lift me up every single day. They make me laugh, they make me smile, and it's my hope that I add that joy and love to their lives as well.
And junior kindergarten is a little bit different than regular kindergarten in that we're strong in our academics, but we can meet these children exactly where they are when they're 5 years old and teach them routines and yet let them explore and enjoy the love of learning. And we have many of the same standards and skills that kindergartners would have, but we don't have to master every skill. So we introduce and learn and enjoy every part of our day.
We actually started out at Mount Pisgah for preschool, and it was at a time when I went back to work, and we were looking for a place where Rebecca could go to school that shared our values, and we really wanted a Christian school. So we visited and we saw the chapel, and we saw all the kids of the different ages just praising God together, and at home we talk about God and Bible and Jesus and sing, and it's just fun to have her come home from school now saying Bible verses and singing about Jesus. And so we really appreciate when she's gone for the long school day that she's hearing about the things we'd be talking about at home.
With you. I used to always take her to the aquarium. We lived in the city, and we would go sometimes 2 or 3 times a week. And anytime I would see field trips, I would get frustrated because all the kids would be too rough or walk in front of us. And then one afternoon, I saw the most amazing group of students in the most beautiful uniforms, and we followed them around. Lana was 1 at the time. and I followed them around the aquarium, and I followed them into the lunchroom, and I sat beside them, and I just watched in amazement how the students were handling themselves, how they were so grounded and they just had the whole package. And so I took my daughter over and I said, tell me what school you go to, I need to know. And they said Mount Pisgah. And I had no idea where Johns Creek or Mount Pisgah was, but when I went home, we made the decision that we would move wherever Mount Pisgah was. I told my husband we have to be at this school because when Alana is a teenager, I want her to behave that way when she's out in public. And it has been such a nurturing environment, and I understand now why the kids behave that way when they're older. It's been wonderful. It's not only great to teach her, she's learning how to read and she's excited about learning, but the other day we were driving to Atlanta and there was an ambulance that passed by and she said a prayer because her teacher always says prayers when she hears an ambulance or fire truck, and it's just making her such a good person. And for me, that's a big deal, to make her all around, just to be a very thoughtful, socially aware little girl.
Well, we started here when my firstborn was in Tews preschool, and I'd heard great things about the school. We lived close. It just seemed like a great option for us, and from the beginning moments of having her here, we absolutely loved it. And when I think about the thing that made the greatest first impression, it was probably her Tews preschool teacher. And pretty soon it then became the familiar smiles and faces in the hallways that grew from acquaintances to friends. And so we continued here, and then when I had my second and she was 2, we also put her in the half-day preschool program, and absolutely loved it. And then when kindergarten came around for my firstborn, I felt pressure just to make sure it was really the right fit, because one thing that felt so important to us as a family was being able to be somewhere the whole time through graduating from high school, obviously, and I love that that was available here. And we started looking at other schools just to make sure we knew this was the right fit for us. And there was something I just found really unique here, and I think it was the spirit of which the teachers taught. There's a sweet, sweet spirit that I just felt like there was a lot of grace here that they had with the kids, which felt important to me since obviously the girls spend more time here during the weekdays than they do at home. It was important to me not just that they obviously had a great academic experience, but that the heart of who they were was nurtured, that the whole person was looked at, and I just really, really found that here at Mount Pisgah. So both of our girls have been so happy here. My youngest is in kindergarten, my oldest is in 2nd grade, and obviously they're still little, but having been here since Tews, these are the only hallways they know, and that was important for me, just that they be somewhere they feel safe and nurtured, and it was familiar. But I think what I didn't estimate when I was thinking about a decision for the right place for my kids was how important those relationships would be for my husband and I. So obviously we always thought for the girls about them making friends and relationships, but the sweet families that we found at this school are the ones we want to do life with.